Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist at Large, losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 80. Now with new joke technology and open caption for the humor impaired. Quincy Jones, the multi-talented music titan whose vast legacy ranged from producing Michael Jackson's historic Thriller album to writing prize-winning film and television scores and collaborating with Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, and hundreds of other recording artists, has died at 91. Jones died Sunday night at his home in Bel Air section of Los Angeles, surrounded by his family and friends. Here we go again. Jones was arguably the most versatile pop culture figure of the 20th century, perhaps best known for producing the albums Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad for Michael Jackson in the 1980s, which made the singer the biggest pop star of all times. Jones also produced music for Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Donna Summer, and many others. He was also a successful composer of dozens of film scores and had numerous chart hits under his own name, including the hit album Body Heat. Jones was a band leader in big band jazz, an arranger for jazz stars like Count Basie, and a multi-instrumentalist, most proficiently on trumpet and piano. His TV and film production company, founded in 1990, had major success with the sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and other shows. He continued to innovate well into his 80s, launching Quest TV in 2017, an on-demand music TV service. Jones is third only to Beyoncé and Jay-Z for having the most Grammy Award nominations of all time, 80 to their 88 each. He could have had 91 if he looked better in a teddy. The lingerie, not Pendergrass. He is also the award's third most garlanded winner with 28. Should have worn that teddy. And if that wasn't enough, he was a producer on We Are the World, which raised over $60 million in 1985. That would be $130 million in Biden dollars. Rest in peace, Quincy. May you find peace, and may it be all heavenly body and no heat. Judith Jamison, Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater trailblazer and artistic director emeritus, has died at 81 after a brief illness. Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater released a statement saying in part, quote, "We remember and are grateful for her artistry, humanity, and incredible light, which inspired us all," close quote. Well, I guess they meant them all because a lot of us all didn't know who she was. And that's a damn shame because she was a phenomenal dancer and choreographer, from what I learned in the 5-minute YouTube clip that I saw. Okay, I rounded up. It was 450. Jamison grew up in Philadelphia and trained there in ballet from a young age at a time when Black dancers were rare in ballet. She began with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater in 1965 and ended with us in 2024. The Ailey motto was to educate, entertain, and uplift. Rest in peace, Judith. May you get a lift up to heaven. Tony Todd, the veteran actor who starred in Candyman and the Final Destination films, has died at the age of 69. Todd died Wednesday at his home in Marina del Rey, California. A representative confirmed a cause of death was not released. That did not stop his spirit from being released, just a cause of death. Quote, "The industry has lost a legend. We have lost a cherished friend. Rest in peace, Tony. Your Final Destination family." Close quote. A production studio New Line Cinema wrote on Instagram. Todd portrayed one of the horror genre's most well-known villains when he starred in 1992's Candyman and its sequels. He also appeared in the Final Destination franchise, playing the role of William Bloodworth. One of his early acting credits included a role in Oliver Stone's Academy Award-winning film, Platoon. where he played a black man, I guess. I haven't seen that movie in years. His other credits include The Crow, Star Trek, and the Night of the Living Dead remake. He had more than 240 film and TV credits during his career. Rest in peace, Tony. May your final destination be a pleasant one. Elwood Edwards was the voice of AOL's email greeting, "You've Got Mail." He died at 74. He passed following an undisclosed long illness. Why was he following it? Was it a case of road rage? Classic horror movie mistake. Any former AOL user can recognize his voice. More than 30 years ago, Edwards recorded 4 iconic lines for what was then a little-known company called America Online. Edwards' wife Karen, who worked for Quantum Computer Services later to become AOL, volunteered her husband. Edwards recorded the phrases on a cassette deck in his living room. Those 4 phrases
Welcome. You've got mail. Files done. Goodbye.
would eventually be heard by hundreds of millions of people and become a staple part of the AOL experience. There are still a number of people with AOL email addresses. I think the number is 3. Rest in peace, Elwood, and
Goodbye.
rest in peace, the Kamala Harris Coalition. It died peacefully in its sleep, surrounded by tens of millions of family and friends. It was 3 months old. While the actual cause of death is still being debated, what is certain is that when it came time to give up the ghost, it willingly succumbed. Speaking of succumbed, that's what all of you people who voted for Trump have done. You succumbed to fear. You succumbed to racism. You succumbed to ignorance. You succumbed to the will and willingness to lie of a future autocrat and wannabe fascist dictator. You succumbed to the sound Lady Justice being silenced because she was denied the one thing that she is to do: render true equality under the law. Yes, you succumbed, and now you should swallow before you choke on it. Cybercriminals are gaining access to email accounts, the FBI warned this week, even when accounts are protected by multi-factor authentication. Attacks begin when users are lured to visiting suspicious websites or click on phishing links that download malicious software onto their computer. These are session cookies or security cookies or remember me cookies. They store credentials to stop you from having to log in every time you visit a website or access one of your accounts. Here is an artist rendering based on the FBI profile of the typical cookie thief. New York Judge Juan Merchan is set to decide this week whether President-elect Donald Trump's criminal conviction on charges involving hush money paid to a porn star should be overturned in light of the U.S. Supreme Court's July ruling on presidential immunity. Justice Juan Merchan has said he will make his decision on Tuesday. It is the first of 2 pivotal choices that the judge must make after Trump's November 5th election victory, or apparent victory. Merchan also must decide whether to go ahead with sentencing Trump on November 26 as currently scheduled. Legal experts have said sentencing now is unlikely to happen ahead of Trump's January 20th inauguration. I guess it's like they say, no one is above the law, but apparently it's beneath us to enforce the law. On Wednesday, 43 monkeys escaped from a primate research facility in South Carolina. One of the monkeys has been recovered safely, officials said Saturday. The rest remain on the loose, with many hanging out just a few yards from the facility's property. Officials have said the monkeys pose no health risk to the public but warned against approaching or interacting with them. Do not try to harm the monkeys. They have more rights than you will probably have by the end of 4 years under the Trump-Musk administration. Speaking of escaped monkeys, Trump has another lifeline. Special counsel Jack Smith on Friday asked Judge Tanya Chutkan for more time to assess how to proceed in a pending election interference case against resident-elect Donald Trump following his apparent victory in this week's presidential election. As a result of the election held on November 5th, 2024, the defendant is expected to be certified as resident elect on January 6, 2025, and inaugurated on January 20th, 2025. Smith wrote in a new court filing, quote, "The government respectfully requests that the court vacate the remaining deadlines in the pretrial schedule to afford the government time to assess this unprecedented circumstance and determine the appropriate course going forward consistent with Department of Justice policy." Close quote. Again, policy is not law. I have a policy not to embarrass my wife in public. I'll still do it, and she cannot arrest me for it. Her penalty is way worse. Smith said in his filing that the government would file a status report in the case by December 2nd. He added that prosecutors had consulted with Trump's lawyers, quote, "who do not object to this request," close quote. United States Judge Tanya Chutkin, who is overseeing the case, granted Smith's request shortly after it was filed. Apparently, policy is, while no one is above the law, enforcing it is beneath us. And finally, Donald Trump, for reasons unknown, is being returned to the White House. He will have a 53 to 46 majority in the Senate. He has a Supreme Court in his pocket, and possibly the House as well. Those races are still being tabulated. Full disclosure, I'm fucking shocked. I'm stressed out. My skin is breaking out. My chest aches. It's 2016 all over again, except this time the sequel may be much worse than the original. Trump is due to be sworn in on January 20th in the year of your gourd, 2025. Things can get really bad. The longshoreman strike has been put on hold until January. If the Trump tariffs are enacted, prices will go up about 20% on most imported goods. If Trump deports 12 million immigrants, prices on domestic fruits, vegetables, and meats will go up. If Trump replaces civil servants with Trump loyalists, many government services will be slowed and or halted. If abortion is banned nationwide, women and fetuses of all parties and walks of life will suffer and or die. But this is the country that Trump voters wanted. I just hope that we can live with your decision, fucked up as it is. For those of you who find some value in what I do on Critical Joke Theory, thank you, and I will try to keep you informed and amused to the best of my abilities. For those of you who enjoy trolling me, you know my face, my voice, my name, and even where to find me when I'm performing in public. So, if you're one of those conservative cowards hiding behind a fake name and an avatar, I take 2 shits a day and flush them down the toilet. I don't need your shit, but I can take another shit. Like I said before, you've already succumbed to Trump, and now you should swallow before you choke on it. I'm GD Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with new joke technology. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it, and please check out Done Way Past Funny on YouTube, Knob TV, and Spark TV. Also watch The Church of Last Resort, streaming live on Sundays on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern. And please, get out there and do something. Do not succumb. Be safe out there, and don't feed the crazies.